The silliest conversation coming out of what happened in Wisconsin, where my coach threw a hand at an assistant for the Wisconsin Badgers. The silliest conversation is maybe we should just do away with the handshake line. How about the handshake line should just be free of hand throwing? The only hand that is thrown is an extended hand to shake. That's it. And it's just like, but it allows two coaches who are hot under the collar to actually see one another in the flow of a very emotional game. And I just hope that the coaches could just be above it. How about we just have a handshake line where there is no at all converse, like this is not the place to hash out this timeout versus that press. How about we just don't use that moment? Greg Gard can just call Juwan later. Let him go past and call him. Like if you want to explain yourself later on, do that in your press conference and do that on the phone. How about that one? Because there's way too many moments in our lives where civility is getting destroyed in our world. And the concept of extending a hand to somebody else, despite all of the competitive juices that are flowing, that having people shake hands after the game, because that is a tradition. I don't know who started it. I don't know why it exists. As you know, in the NBA, that does not exist. As you know, Phil Jackson used to be in the tunnel as soon as the buzzer sounded. I mean, that guy sometimes needed to unfold himself just to creak his way out of a chair and then just amble around. But he always had some giddy up getting out and just see ya, gone. And then, NFL coaches wave, or they don't even wave. They're out and it's gone. And that's the way the NBA is. Now, should they institute a handshake and all that business? It's not part of the tradition. It never was. But in college basketball, it has been. Same thing in the NFL meeting at the center. And that's been, as you know, ripe for problems.
No, I mean,
you've had arguments,
giving
what's
Tom
your
Brady
deal?
grief for not shaking Nick Foles' hand. Like, who cares?
Well, I mean, that is something to have a conversation about. If he didn't shake a hand, if he feels bad or he feels angry or upset, you can criticize someone for that sort of thing, I guess.
Chaos.
But to me, don't just throw the whole concept of sportsmanship out because it got twisted and sent awry by two guys who couldn't control themselves, one in particular. Greg Gard, he clearly wants no piece of you. Let him go. Let him walk past. You want to explain something to him, do it another time. The handshake line where he clearly doesn't want to shake your hand and it's obvious. Just dap him up, touch up, don't even look at him. And you could say, well, what's the point of having it in the first place? Because it teaches something to the actual players in the competition. That's why. That's why. And it's something that's been there for a long time. Could you imagine it's just like we're not doing it anymore because Juwan threw a hand? Really? And that's one thing, too, I would like to have Juwan Howard, when he does at some point say something that is a form of contrition, basically say that this sort of thing should be stay put. Still institutional, not institutionalized because people can't handle their cool. So let's stick with it. There's too much in this world that is becoming vastly uncivil. And this is something that is still 99.99% of the time very civil, and even sometimes, looks like it's just a formality. But going through that formality, in my mind, is still better than just getting rid of it. I don't see how that makes any sense at all. Just provide yourself a little bit more chill. And head coaches who don't want to talk to the guy, keep trying to move. And the other head coach, read the room. He doesn't want to hear from you right now.
I don't know about that.
Read the room, man. Just let him go. And you want to say something later on, call him up, text him.
Or shake his hand.
Well, that's what he tried to do, I guess, and move on. Jay Billis joining us in a moment.
Get rid of the anthem or the handshake?
Neither. Keep going.
Well, it's a hot take, Rich. You got to pick one.
I refuse to. I won't do it.
No, we're going to fight then.
Are we really?
Well, I mean, you're refusing, and I'm trying to offer a gesture. You know?
No, just let me move on. Text me later. You don't think Greg Gard is just like, as soon as he's
I think you're making excuses for Juwan.
I'm not making excuses for him.
Well, you're saying read the room.
Read the room. He's trying to move past him. He wants no part of him.
Juwan said something first. Juwan says, now I'm going to remember this.
Yeah, that was after.
That was before. And now he's trying to say, well, hold on a second. Let me explain to you. And that's why he kind of grabbed him to stop him to explain. And that's when everything got crazy.
Definitely said something before Gard stopped him.
Yeah.
I heard the whole thing.
I'm going to remember this.
I know. He said that after Gard stopped him.
I don't know.
I can send you the raw video if you'd like.
Okay, great. But I just want you to be consistent with what you said in the first hour. But now you're telling Greg Gard to read the room.
Read the room. Don't stop him. Yeah. On the handshake line.
We didn't shake his hand. What kind of sportsmanship is that? Like you're the leader. You're the guy you sit in the living room and say, "Come play for me," because I'm a role model.
I'm just saying, just let him go. If any coach
now you're putting it on the other guy who didn't throw a punch.
I did not say at all that Juwan shouldn't have thrown the punch. I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, I know, but you said it. You're doing it out of the same breath. Like, don't throw a punch, but also you read the room. That's not fair.
For the sanctity of the handshake line.
Nah, I don't know about that, man. Like,
do you argue in front of your child? With your wife?
In front of my child?
With the mother of your child?
We don't argue, man.
Okay. One day when your child becomes old enough to know that mom and dad are having...
not even close to the same thing, though.
Well, I was just saying, around the kids, just keep it civil. And later on, when you were not around the kids, you can talk. How about that? I guess Juwan shouldn't have said anything to him either. Just dap up and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, so why is Juwan talking? Oh, look, Michigan, man, I know you guys got a thing with timeouts, but, like, come on.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ, Chris. In all honesty, really.
What?
With 25 seconds left on the clock.
Those jokes are all warranted. Like, you started this.
I started?
Not
what did I start?
You, the Michigan head coach, started this. So all jokes are fair game.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.